I've been doing print on demand drop shipping for a few years now, and it is one of my favorite business models for so many reasons. First and foremost, once you actually get a design up, it is completely hands off, 100% automated. There are software tools out there and supplier integrations that will automate everything from the actual housing and storage of the product, whether you're putting it on a mug, a t-shirt, a backpack, whatever the case is, however you're operating your business, right? Not only that, they will also print the design once you get the order automatically because they sync up with your Etsy shop. They will also then package it up, ship it to the customer, and handle all the logistics for you, as well as automatically corresponding with your Etsy shop and inputting the tracking number into that order, so you don't have to do anything, right? You used to in the past have to go print that product, with your home printing press, ship it out to the customer, input the tracking number, do all the fulfillment, do all the customer, like you don't have to do any of that anymore. And so as my journey has kind of evolved over the years, as I've been doing this, I've played around with different products, different designs, and different supplier integrations. And I'm here to tell you that AutoDS is one of the best for so many reasons. Not only do they do all the printing, all the shipping, all the handling and all that stuff for you, all the storing and warehousing of all the inventory, and give you a ton of options for you. Not only do they do that, but they also have the auto ordering function where you can control all that on the website. And my favorite part about that is they also integrate with other marketplaces too, right? So some of the other ones that are, just print on demand suppliers for Etsy don't also integrate with eBay or Shopify or TikTok Shop or like any of those, right? But AutoDS does integrate with all those other places. So if, for example, you're on the website, and I'm going to show you how to sign up here in a second, you go to add store, you see that they integrate with Shopify automatically. So they will not only print all your Shopify orders or, obviously fulfill all your Shopify orders, if you have them for the specific products. They will do it for eBay. They will do it for Amazon, Facebook shops, or obviously Facebook Marketplace, your Wix store. I have a Wix store on my website, your WooCommerce store, Etsy, like in this example, and my favorite TikTok shop, right? So not only do you get the Etsy, but also you're housing all of your products and all of your entire inventory and everything into a site that integrates with all of these, not just one, not just Etsy. So for example, if, in the future you ever want to branch out to a different marketplace, Etsy goes hand in hand with TikTok Shop. If you're doing print on demand, you should also be selling those products on TikTok Shop as well. This goes hand in hand because it integrates with all these automatically in seconds, right? So to get started with AutoDS, click that first link in the description, and that's going to take you to the site here where you can launch your store in 2 minutes for just $1, okay? So they give you a 14-day trial for $1 to test it out. If you don't like it at any point, you can just cancel. Although I'm willing to bet that if you start with this, you will see the power of not just, like I said, all the automatic stuff, but the auto ordering as well, which is a game changer, not just on Etsy, but on TikTok Shop, on Amazon, on eBay, on Shopify. No other software tool that I know of integrates with all those and auto orders for all of those. It is a game changer. All right. So then you want to click launch your store and start drop shipping, sign up, create your own profile. And that's going to take you to the homepage of AutoDS that looks a lot like this, right? Now, here we are in the back end of the software. I just created a brand new one so you kind of see how it looks when you're starting. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is add your own shop, right? So you want to come down to add store, and you can see that you can add your Shopify store, your eBay store, your Amazon store, WooCommerce, Wix, Facebook shop, TikTok shop, or Etsy. So in this case, we're obviously going to add our Etsy store and click continue. That's going to take you to Etsy, where it's going to ask you to sign into your Etsy account and then grant them access to sync and connect. You want to grant them access, obviously. So not only can they add products that you're creating here on AutoDS when you upload your designs and then they sync automatically, but also so that they can pull the orders automatically, fulfill those orders automatically, and you don't have to lift a finger. It does it all synced without you doing anything, right? So then once you add your store, you're ready to start adding your products and getting started. But before we do that, I want to run you through some other options here on the website. So obviously, once you start getting orders and you're synced up, you'll see them all in the orders tab. This is where the auto orders takes place. So you will be able to see all this stuff. One of the things that I've taught across the board, it doesn't matter the marketplace, whether it's Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace back in the day, Etsy, all of it, is to keep track of everything, right? You want to keep track of the customer's name. You want to keep track of the actual item that they ordered, how much you paid for it on your supplier, obviously counting taxes, keep track of the profit, keep track of the rent, like All of that, save the order number so that you always have something to check back and reference if for whatever reason you run into an issue with an order. Even if it's a month like from now for this specific order today, you want to have all that information. You want to stay organized. But now you don't have to do that manually on a spreadsheet, right? And kind of auto calculate your spreadsheet because AutoDS houses all that for you, again, automatically. So it saves you a ton of time, not just with the order fulfillment and the inventory and the printing of everything on it, the shipping to your customer, but also by saving you all the time that you would have had to track everything in your orders, your profit, who's the customer, when they ordered it, what the, like all of that is housed automatically here. And I absolutely love that. It's a game changer. Then your products, you can always look into products and start adding products here. Your drafts is where you're going to come back in this case specifically when you're adding a product for print on demand. Once you add it in your print on demand dashboard here, which I'm going to show you here in a second, it will then be in drafts, which you can then edit here. You can use the AI to rewrite it. You can also rewrite your own one if you want to do it yourself. And that's where you're going to start adding products into your Etsy shop or your TikTok shop or wherever. Obviously, you have 24/7 customer support. They also have a YouTube channel. So one of the bonuses here is the setup guide. So at the bottom, if you click into that, you can earn $40 in just order credits right off the bat, which obviously everybody should do. Just connect your store, add your first draft, add your first product, and then subscribe to their YouTube channel, and they give you $40 in free order credits for free, right? That covers the first month of your plan after the 14-day free trial. So it's not just after doing this 14 days, it's literally a month and a half that you get completely free because they're giving that first month back to you, right? So if you can't figure out that this is going to work or not for you in a month and a half, then chances are AutoDS or print on demand is not your problem. You probably aren't cut out for entrepreneurship and online business, right? But it is, obviously, I promise you, it's phenomenal. That's a cool little perk that they offer you. So everybody take advantage of that. Setup guide as well. Just go through all those prompts. There's 4 of them. Very easy to do, right? And of course, their YouTube channel is going to walk you through everything as well and give you tons of tips on, new features, software updates, new marketplaces that they're adding, and all that good stuff as well. Now, the last thing that I want to add here is the marketplace. So if you want to do any product research, just go to marketplace and you can look through all different categories on all different marketplaces, the best sellers, why they're selling, what those options are. So they're going to bring you a ton of those products here directly spoon fed to you. You can obviously sort it from US or another country, a specific supplier, a specific price range, a specific category, and then obviously filter it down from there. It is a phenomenal tool built into the software for you, okay? But the first thing that we want to do is go down to print on demand and start adding a product. So we're going to go to print on demand, add a product here. As you can see, they offer a ton of different options here. So we have the just normal Gildan t-shirt, which is a staple of pretty much every print on demand drop shipper. Drop ships this t-shirt because it's the cheapest t-shirt that you can obviously, source for. There's plenty of other options here. You got like a muscle tee there. You have sweatshirts, zip up hoodies, and one of the things that I was selling like 6 months ago in droves was these baby onesies. So that's an option there as well. You got a ton of options to pick from here, and then obviously all those prices. So let's just say we wanted to add a t-shirt. We're going to edit the product, and now we're going to drop in our design. If you don't know how to create a design or you don't know what designs to create, stick around. I'm going to show you that as well. So first thing you do is just add your image. Pretty self-explanatory. They make it super easy for you. I'm going to pick one of my past designs that I don't use anymore. So all these t-shirt designs as an example. Let's just pick one. What is this one? Mental well-being is important too. Let's pick a different one. Be stronger than your excuses. All right, let's pick that one. Download that one. And you're going to have designs, or you're going to create your own designs, obviously, and it's going to be very easy to upload them here in AutoDS. They make it super simple. So add your image. Again, this should be transparent so that you can see the background of the t-shirt here. Again, if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show it all to you here in a second. So easy. Now we're going to just center that. Now you can also drag it out as well. So if you want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, it's all drag and drop. You can move it around. So you want it to fill up a decent portion of the shirt, not be overwhelming, but you want it to be obviously big enough that the design is, noticeable and legible for most people. If you want to change the colors, you can add whatever colors you want here. They give you a ton of options. You can have 12 of them. So if you didn't want white, you could obviously add other colors here. Keep in mind what your actual text is on your design and the colors on your design. For example, like sometimes I'll have white text that's transparent. Probably don't want to put that on a white t-shirt, right? If in this case I have black one, I don't want to put that on a black t-shirt because as you can see, it's going to be really tough. This one looks like it's blue because it's got blue selected, but if it's black, it's just not going to look right? It's going to, even if you can see the black on black, chances are most people aren't going to like that. So I would just avoid that. I would go like white here, maybe a few of these other colors. And again, you can pick 12 of them, whichever ones you like. And we'll go like a purple, a green, and a pink. Why not? There we go. And then once you're done there, you can obviously look what the shirt looks like and give you a little preview here and then save. or edit it further. Now, once you save it, it's going to take it into your AutoDS drafts, okay? So the next place you want to go to is drafts right here. And it does take a minute or so to actually upload to the drafts, but obviously you see the one, there we go. I lied, took 5-10 seconds. So then you want to import it obviously into your Etsy shop. But the first thing you want to do before you do that is actually edit the actual listing, right? Because you don't want your listing title to be unisex t-shirt, Gildan 5000. You want to click into it and you're going to edit the title. You're going to edit the category. It's already obviously categorized a little bit for you under printed apparel. You want to keep stock monitoring on because if AutoDS goes out of stock, you don't want to sell this. That's a no-brainer. One of the benefits of print on demand. You want it to monitor the price. So if the price goes up, you're obviously maintaining that price difference on Etsy and you're making the same margin. And obviously you want auto order on because that's going to automate everything. Now on AutoDS, they charge you a specific fee every single time you order, but every company does that. That's a print on demand. And keep in mind, like they're charging you a fractional fee to fulfill your entire order, print it off for you, ship it to the customer, import your tracking. All that's automated. It is a no-brainer. So it takes all the hassle off of you. So you don't have to do all that nitty-gritty stuff in between. You just focus on creating more high-quality designs, uploading them here, and then selling and making more money. It's a no-brainer, all right? So you're gonna obviously change the title, and you can optimize the title with AI. You could also generate one, or if you have one already that's SEO friendly, you would put that in there. So let's say, for example, you didn't know a title, you could obviously optimize or rewrite it with AI here, and that's one of the cool benefits of AutoDS. On a lot of the other, print-on-demand suppliers, you have to use something like ChatGPT or Copilot on your own to do that. It also auto-do your description if you want, which is very, very cool. You can see all the different variations that you offer and all the sizes and colors that you selected and what it actually looks like on those designs, obviously before you save and import it, which will automatically go into your Etsy shop. But you're probably wondering, how do I create designs? How do I find hot selling designs? How do I know what to put on my t-shirts or my sweatshirts or whatever, right? So I have so many other tutorials that are going to walk you through how to actually find hot selling designs that are going to fly off the shelves for you. So I will link the Etsy dropshipping playlist at the bottom of the description if you want to check that out. And then, that will walk you through how to actually find designs like this and create them. But let's say, for example, you wanted to just create something trending. I went through the example, I think 2 weeks ago, on how the Gulf of America, since Trump changed the name, was something that was trending recently. So let's just create a design like that. We'll use ChatGPT to make the design for us instead of finding something else that is a hot selling design to recreate ourselves. So let's say to make a design for a t-shirt on the Gulf of America. Could you create 5 original designs for me? All right, so I made some decent ones here. As you can see, Gulf of America, 25 since 2025. You will notice that sometimes when you're creating designs with AI like this, it will have misspelling, so keep that in mind too. And this one, Gulf of America, that one's not terrible, but it's not transparent. Wouldn't look that great on a t-shirt. Gulf of America Summer Club. So we could take this one right here. Generally speaking, it's not going to suggest it to you transparent, so you're going to want to take a snippet image of it. We're going to save this as 1, so we know. And so then we're going to take our design, we're going to add it into a software called vectorizer.io. When you add that in here, you can then just rip the background really easily and it turns it into a transparent image. This is something I've talked about. I used to pay thousands of dollars to a graphic designer to do, or I had to spend like half an hour cutting it out myself with inside Photoshop, and I absolutely hated it. So this software has been a game changer for print on demand sellers everywhere. If you're not using this, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's super cheap too. I think it's like $10 for the month. So well worth it. So we're just going to go up here and select some of the colors and go up the line. And then we're going to be able to isolate the background color. So as you can see, the background's black here. We're just going to hide black. And that's going to leave us with only the rest of the transparent image in the background right there. And then we can just download that in any format that we want. So that's a PNG. And now we have the transparent PNG image that we could just put on anything here in AutoDS. So we go back into print on demand. We would, in this case, add it to a Gildan t-shirt, add the image, add the design that's transparent now. And remember, we don't want to obviously put that on a white shirt because it's already white lettering. So we're just going to change the colors. In this case, we would select other ones, like we'll go a little bit of red, a purple, a green, an orange, no whites, pink, a yellow, a blue, and maybe one of these. And let's go this sand color. And there you go. As we extrapolate that out and expand it, that's what the shirt would look like. Again, I didn't create that. AI did it for me. And then we would add that into a software that would do all the work for us as well. In this case, it's AutoDS, which would do the printing of the actual, design on the product, storing the products ahead of time so you don't need to store them in your garage or your basement, or obviously rent warehouse space. Then they would then ship it to the customer for you so you don't have to do anything. And then also auto below, input the tracking number into that corresponding order on Etsy. So again, you could just focus on creating more and more designs like this, uploading them, and making more money. So if you want to try AutoDS, again, for just $1 for 14 days, but realistically, if you just do what I said in that, like right here on the homepage, and go to the setup guide, it ends up being $1 for a month and a half, which is a game changer. You can try it out through that first link in the description below. Really hope it helps.